Now, most of you already know that the cost of living is one of the things that is not only having a huge impact into consumers, but it is also having an impact into companies, whether from small to big. We are getting companies, of course, not generating the kind of revenues that they were generating because the products and services which they used to offer, probably at lower prices, they were forced or they end up increasing most of those products, or we saw prices of those products we used to afford rising like crazy. That led into us, or into consumers, not being able to buy as many products as they used to, which led into businesses not generating the kind of revenues that which they used to, because consumers are not buying as many products as they used to. Consumers are not subscribing to the services, or to most of the services which they used to, because of high inflation. They cannot afford the things that they used to afford, which is a problem, which is a challenge that, like I said, or as I'm saying, it is not a challenge facing the consumers in, of course, South Africa, but it is also a challenge that is facing the companies, including those that are listed in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Now, ladies and gents, yesterday we read, or we just received, the figures for the May inflation, and ladies and gents, I must say I was really excited when I got to see those figures, because I seen on the screen, notice that, ladies and gents, South Africa, it is currently sitting at an inflation of 6.3%, which is something that is incredible, because for the month of April, we saw inflation coming to 6.8%, which obviously it was a good thing, right? I mean, yesterday, analysts, as seen on the screen, you'll notice that they were expecting inflation, or the cost of living, to come at 6.5%, which, ladies and gents, it was a surprise. It came to obviously 6.3%, which is something that, like I said, it is good, or it is a good thing, not only to the consumers but to also the companies we invest in. So you will know by now that, of course, still the 6.3%, though it is good, the SA Reserve Bank's target is to find, or to get, South Africa's inflation back to between 3 to 6%. That is their target, and I personally think that, obviously, though we are not at that bracket, with this 6.3, I think it might result in the SA Reserve Bank probably to not increase interest rates in the next meeting, which obviously I cannot wait for that, as that will mean, of course, consumers now can obviously maybe get a bit of a relief from, of course, interest rate hikes. Now, before we dig deep into this video, or before I forget that, so you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. And I would really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about the inflation figures we just received yesterday of 6.3%. If you're new on this channel, you know that this channel we are all about the stock market. Anything that has an impact on companies we invest in, whether locally or internationally, you will know that I try my best for those that have been for some time, to cover those kind of news. So if you are into stock market, or if you want to invest into the stock market, or you want to buy shares, stocks, probably you need to, of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell when you subscribe, so that at least you get notified every time I drop a new content. So I'm very excited, because, ladies and gents, inflation, it is indeed cooling off, which is something that, obviously, getting to see it approaching, of course, the target by the SA Reserve Bank of between 3 and 6% inflation makes me to be really excited, because when we get to that bracket, chances will be very high that we're going to see the SA Reserve Bank starting to cut or reduce interest rates, which will make these loans, or the kind of loans we have that are maybe giving us headaches due to the huge or big repayments coming as a result of high interest rate hikes, we are definitely going to obviously see ourselves once again being able to be comfortable with our long-term debts, or our credit cards, and all those kind of things. So I'm very excited about this, and the good thing is that South Africa, ladies and gents, it looks like it is sort of like in the same path as the, of course, US economy, because even in the US, you know that, of course, their inflation is below 5% now, and their target, or the target of inflation in the US, it's 2%. So they're targeting an inflation of 2%, which is something that is incredible. So these, or what this low figure or low CPI or cost of living figure we saw yesterday, what it means is, it just means that once again we are seeing, of course, the prices of the products and products probably and services we use on a day-to-day coming down, dropping, which is something that obviously it is going to make us afford the things that probably we used to afford a year ago, and now we could not afford because of high inflation. Those things were just too expensive for us. So we are going to once again going to see ourselves affording, of course, the products, the services that we used to, which is a good thing, right? And that in return is going to benefit the companies that are probably listed in the stock exchange, because they are going to see their revenues also recover. I mean, though we might still be having issues or big issues in South Africa about load shedding, I think things are starting to cool off, or things are starting to be better, because you will know that there are also industries in the stock market that have showed some good recovery signs. I mean, the traveling and leisure industry, you will know that, of course, for the year 2022, they saw sort of like a very good, strong recovery, which is something that obviously it is a good thing, and it is, of course, continuing, or the growth in this traveling and leisure industry, we are seeing it continuing because tourists continue to come in. We are continuing to see numbers increasing of tourists coming in to visit South Africa, which obviously that industry will continue recovering. Another industry which is, of course, doing well or recovering well, it is the mining industry, which we saw, of course, the output, ladies and gents, increasing for the month of March and April, after it had dropped, or the production had dropped for the past 13 months. That is, of course, February going back. So we are seeing a strong recovery also in the mining sector, which is something that obviously it is a good thing. It means that those of you that might spot some of the opportunities in companies within these industries will definitely, of course, be rewarded, and that is, of course, if they are to take maybe top quality stocks amongst or within these industries I was just telling you about. So I'm very excited, and I think this 6.3% we received yesterday, it is supposed to bring some good news, because chances are very high, ladies and gents, that, as I said, the SA Reserve Bank might not increase interest rates at all, or might pause interest rate hikes in the next meeting, due to the fact that inflation now it's approaching our target of between 3 and 6%. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I'd just give you this quick update. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. Before you load the boat, buy any stock, please do make sure that you do your own due diligence, so that at least you can be comfortable as you are investing into the stock market. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.